Hello, good evening. It's such a nice feeling to see to meet all of you after such a long time. And thank you so much. And thank you so much for all the support and love. Well, now the things are pretty good. Yeah, I can so many messages. Thank you so much. Yes, even I missed all of you a lot. Yes, good evening. I'm good. Much better. Much better. It's much better than before 15 days. I'll tell you in detail what really happened. And trust me, it's like second life. Thank you, Sneha. Yes, even I'm so happy to meet all of you. Well, it was a difficult phase, very difficult phase of life. Yeah, actually. Uh, say it started. Thank you so much. Well, it was like almost sixth or seventh, I think, when I dropped a message that I am not feeling well, and there was some high grade fever, and say within a few hours, I knew that things are not going good. So those first 1 or 2 days when I thought that I'll be fine, but no, it was getting bad. And I started with entire thing like Fabiflu, then azithromycin, and all the standard treatment I started. But it was going bad. So within 5 days, I think the situation was worsening. So I shifted to ivermectin, doxycycline. But by the time when it was like say almost 14th, that is even after 1 week, started losing sense of smell, and the worst part is I was losing so much of weight. I lost the total 12 kilogram of absolute muscle mass. My muscle mass has been, it's like robbed by the organs like brain and heart to survive, and severe protein deficiency. And if you look at all the lab values, it was like threatening. It was bad. It was like say D dimer. D dimer was, which is normally it should be in the range of about 500. It was soaring high at 3,390. That means the blood was so thick that it was barely crawling. The CRP, C-reactive protein, which is normal in the range of about 0 to 5, it was 217. The LDH, it was 486. All liver values, everything was so bad. It was like those 3 days. I even talked to God. I wrote a letter to God also, that, and I posted even one message to you guys also. Say, say it was like I really needed your support. And I exited from almost all the WhatsApp groups, means wherever they were writing all the negative things. And yes, I'm so thankful to you. You, so many of you guys, you sent those such an interesting jokes, right? Very funny jokes. So at that point, because there were those Vigo in all my veins and both the hands. So I was finding it very difficult to type because typing was very slow. But I could read your mails. I'm sorry I was unable to answer you in time, but I could read your mails. I could really say enjoy your jokes, and then there was so much of love and support. Those 3 days, I tell you, they were like hell. I actually wrote a letter to God also, and I talked with him every day. Yeah, and 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 it's like I'll show you. This is this is the book which I wrote. This is with every detail, whatever happened, right? Whatever happened during all these days. So I wrote it in detail that an oxygen level was dropping to say 82%, and say at that point, say there was no point in getting panicky because I did entire treatment at home. And say you know that we used to talk that say hemoglobin has got four subunits, right? Hemoglobin has got four subunits, and then there are subunits for carbon dioxide, and then there are separate subunits which are for oxygen, right? So it is the carbon dioxide which actually triggers the uptake of oxygen. So what I used to do, that this is what is called as the Buteyko method, that discovered by Russians, and actually it improves the oxygen intake. So I used to hold my breathe. So when you take like 1, 2, 3, 4, you breathe in, you hold, and then let it go out slow. So that is inspiration is 1, 2, 3, 4, expiration is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you keep on doing this, so what really happens is it is the oxygen I'm sorry, the carbon dioxide concentration, it actually starts affecting those chemoreceptors, and it starts slowly and gradually it picks up the oxygen level. So that's how I used to keep on doing, almost say every night was like this. And say yes, that 18th, 19th and 20th, this was real bad. Yeah. And I read almost all of your mails. I think there were about 1,000 mails, but means and I could answer few of the mails. And if you really check the time, it was like say 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the night. But I'm so thankful to all of you, right? It was like for this entire month, the support which you have given, that was amazing. Unfortunately, uh, in my say CT scan, the middle lobe has been collapsed. The right middle lobe has been completely collapsed. So that's why at times I get bit of breathlessness. But yes, I'm working on it, and I'm using what's called as that that mask, pressurized mask. That is the high altitude training system. So every morning, what I do is it's like a mask. I'll show you the mask also, right? It's a mask. It is with a valve. So I first open the valves, and then gradually after few breath, I try to close few of the valves. So that would generate as if you are on a higher altitude, and when you are on high altitude, so that is where your lungs they have to struggle, and it helps in increasing and improving the say oxygen saturation. Right now my oxygen, it fluctuates between 96, sometimes it goes to 94, but 96 to 97 I can maintain. And say I can't do it at a very rapid pace, but because of the fear of pneumothorax, otherwise it can lead to pneumothorax. And yeah, your see these messages are something which survived me. Yeah, I saw that stand up. Yes, Kapil, I saw that, and that was real fun. And yes, and yes, that movie, that Dream Girl, yeah, it's a good movie. But that old Dream Girl, yeah, someone wrote nice comments also. So this is what is in progress, and currently the lab values they have improved a lot, but still I am on apixaban, right? This is like I have to be on this apixaban. Right now it is 5 mg BD twice a day, morning and evening. And this is just to prevent, because say D dimer was very high. So this is just to prevent pulmonary embolism, because you guys know that in case if there is any embolism, so then it is end of the game. And this is something which we really don't want to happen, because embolism is something it can, it's like over. So apixaban is like, I'll be on this since 24 days, right? I'll be continuing it for one more week, and then we'll reduce it to 2.5 mg, and then that I'll continue for almost another 2 months. And I I tell you, I'm thankful to my very, it's like, guys, and as I'm telling that I exited from so many groups, at the same time I blocked, trust me, I blocked 286 people. Yeah, I blocked 286 people. Those who were like that, when they know the situation is like that, they will say that, Arey, India mein to it is happening like this and that, and all negative news. Now, yes, at that point there was mental clouding. For almost 1 week, I never switched off the light. I kept it on, because the moment the light was switched off, suddenly that feeling was like you are alone and you are sinking, and it was a dangerous feeling. So I used to keep the light on it was on for almost a week. I remained in house for 27 days, but with God's grace and your love and support, I'm back. And I'm so thankful to so many of means my very specific few friends in India and in US. Their support was awesome. Means even at 1 o'clock in the night, I used to call my friend that I need this drug right now. And he used to, and in spite of all these lockdown and those police will stop him, they they help like anything. There was like at any hour, if I tell them, and they helped. And it was awesome. It was awesome. Means what I feel is that whatever God does is for good, is for good. Now I know, because I was on I was on steroid for, and I can now say I was on dexamethasone, and this is something which saved my life. And now when I talk with so many patients, currently I am handling about 26 patients, and I tell them that at times it is not necessary to get admitted. And over here, straight away they say, okay, you go for remdesivir and you go for toxizumab. I said, why? Means, why don't you start with something which is so basic? Because when and in from such bad situation, it was the Dexona, Aerocolt, is I was taking the uh, spray, that is the steroid spray, right? And well, all of them worked, and I'm good now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, you are right. That time shows the value of every person. And and I tell you, at times, sometimes you feel that, okay, these are my real friends. When this situation comes, when you are COVID positive, with the CT values so high, heavy virus load, there is a lung collapse, then there is high D dimer, everything high. I was like, I was requesting so many people that, can you just come and just push the IV, because I was to be on due to severe infection. Say I was on IV Zostrum. IV Zostrum, that was about 1.5 gram BD. This was to be taken. This is a combination of cefaperazone and sulfabactam. Now, there was no one. Means sometimes you feel that they are your friends, they are your doctor friends. None helped. None. It's used to at times I used to take the injections by myself, but then there was someone who helped, and but yeah, it happens. What you wrote is very right. That my my HRCT level, don't ask. It was it was like out of 25, right? So we have got one, two, three, four, five, right? Right side, three lobes, left side, two lobes. One lobe was completely collapsed, right? So that was rated as zero. So one, two, three, four. So practically out of 20, it was 17. It's like the involvement of the lungs that exceeded 75%. This was, and with one complete collapse of right middle lobe. Right middle lobe was gone, completely collapsed. And yeah, I never took the prednisolone. So instead, because it is like dexamethasone is far more clinically effective as compared to prednisolone, and it has been proven that at times you have to go for the dexona even at a higher dose. Say I went for high dose. So I went for about 6 mg per day. Yeah, this is pretty high, right? And I continue it for 5 days. Now what happens is this dexamethasone is basically a diabetogenic drug, right? Immediately the moment, right, when I started this, the blood sugar, it started shooting in the range of say 350 to 400. At times it was even more than 400. So in order to counter it, I started with glimepiride, right? I started with glimepiride. And that was like 2 mg BD, right, with the breakfast and the dinner, but still it was not coming out. And gradually I reduced the Dexona to 6 mg to 4 mg, 4 mg to 2 mg, and then gradually I stopped it. But then when you stop Dexona, so then it is like steroid withdrawal effects, and then there are mood swings, and then there are say blood sugar swings. So last week was like that, but now much better, much better, right? So yes, today to we are, it's like I just wanted to talk to you. I just wanted to open my heart. So that's why today we won't be studying. No, no, Ankit. Today we won't be studying anything. Today I'm over here just to talk with you. Just to talk with you guys. Right? Uh, yeah, yeah, Kapil, you are right. Say this is like an open forum. We can't criticize, but yeah, at times, if you ask me personally, it is what is happening is not good. Means, yes, I say yesterday only, I stopped six of the patients. Six of the patients means they were the parents of either friend or someone known. I said, don't get admitted, don't go for Ramdesivir, don't go for Tocilizumab. And I actually started with Dexona, right, since yesterday morning. And today evening, they are much better, much better. And see, that's what is happening. Thanks, Preeti. Yeah. But well, it is like God's grace. And yes, we'll be starting with anatomy. I got so many mails, so many mails. So no problem, right? From, yes, we'll be starting with lower limb. And say initially, just for few days, right? Because it's like after about 45 minutes or 1 hour, I start getting pain in the back and become a bit breathless. So can we just keep it like say initially? right? Just for few days, just for few days. We'll keep the session for about 1 hour. And yes, I'll keep on extending it, right? As soon as I'll start feeling better, I'll extend it to longer duration. But just for few days, right? And thank you, Abrar. It is like, in fact, I am so thankful. You are, say, what you wrote is that my entire family prayed for you, and yes, I got so many mails, and it was like your your parents, they were, means parents of so many students. What they wrote, that was like there were tears in my eyes. I means that it was amazing. Means you guys care so much. And yes, regarding this NMC draft, yeah, this is bit interesting, right? NMC draft. Now, say, as you have asked for it, I yes, I attended this session also. This NMC draft by the National Medical Council, this is something which is very crazy. It is not good for you, right? Uh, just for few minutes, just, yeah, I'm talking about it. So this is very important. So just listen to this. Uh, I know, Vaishnavi, you were checking. Yeah, this NMC draft, what it is telling is that those who are studying abroad, right, they have to appear for one extra test. They have to appear for one extra test. That is, this next exam will be there, right? That the standard next exam, national exit exam, that would be there. It would be for those who are, say, studying in India, and it would be for those who are studying abroad. Now, don't be scared of what I'm telling you, right? But it is important to know. And definitely there is a strong opposition for this, because see, it's like there is complete injustice. I would use the word injustice, though this is like an open forum, but still I'll be putting my view like that. That see, that those who are studying abroad, they have to appear for one extra exam, and this exam will be having the topics of clinical and paraclinical subjects. Why? For what reason? Why this should be there? Because this is like those who are studying in India or those who are studying in abroad. Well, yeah, you guys are Indian citizen. You are part of us. So you are not someone, some alien. Why this? Why this extra exam? Because this exam means it is like an extra load, and it is a tremendously extra load. And no, this point is definitely not good. So there is a strong opposition, and don't worry about it, right? This is definitely going to be scraped off. No way this can be justified. Rest of the things, they are there, but again, they are into the process, and you don't have to worry about it, right? Definitely these things. Second, say, when you guys are over here, right? Let's say if you are in say India, so there is a proposal that why don't we deploy, right, those who are in fourth year or fifth year. Now your knowledge is as good, so why don't we do it something like, say, take your services, right, when they say that there is 75% deficit, and we don't have doctors, we don't have this medical and paramedical stuff. So why don't we utilize your services, and in the process, say, something can be given in the form of, say, during admission, some extra points, some extra marks, or and so many things can be done. Why your services are not being taken? So even there is one question about this also. uh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Yes, Mishti. So that's what is going on. But say I tell you one thing. Don't worry about any of these things. Say there were few questions like, say, we are starting with anatomy, right? Initially, we'll be going bit slow, right? But not much. Say, and the way I have said that, said my medal tally ended at 62, right? My medal tally, it ended at 62, and I say that that was the athlete version one. Say I'll be back within 3 to 4 months, right? I promise. I have already ordered a new medal hanger, right? On that was my first medal hanger, and now there are 62 medals on it. Now I have ordered another medal hanger, and this is for athlete version 2, right? And I promise 100 medals. Right? So this is like what we'll be doing. In USA or UK, then those exams need to write or not. Abhishek, if you have completed in USA or UK, right? In that case, you have got the advantage because in that case you won't be needing. But yes, if you want to go for post graduation, you'll definitely be requiring the next exam. Yeah, that's right. No, my point was, see, all those who are going abroad, right, for MBBS, they are part of us, right? You are part of us. You are not someone who is coming from some another planet. So why the injustice, right? There should not be. It is like whatever is needed. Uh yes, it has to be done. And yes, see, this is a good thing. I have already say prepared a planner. I have already prepared a planner. Say previously I was planning for renal system, right? The physiology part. Let me be slightly well, right? I don't mind taking 2 lectures a day in a way that will go for anatomy and physiology parallelly. Then we can add even more subjects also, right? Uh, yes, that's right. That's right. Because right now, to almost it's like you guys are. I think you guys are right now stationed, all of you in India only, right? So and things are not going to be good very early. It is going to take some time. Abhishek, I'll figure out exactly right before answering this. I'll just confirm it and then I'll let you know. Yes. Yes, this is Siddesh, this is also very right. What they said is that is those who are say doing MBBS abroad, they will be given only 3 attempts. They will be given only 3 attempts, 3 or 4 attempts. But because of the schedule of the exams, at times you just get 3 attempts. So they'll be given 3 or 4 attempts only in the span of 2 years to clear their next exam. So it means, see, currently the situation is like only 10% are clearing it, right? The entire say load right now it is almost 90%, more than 1 lakh students, right? Still they are waiting for the exam. They are either preparing or they are working with some pharmacy. What if it goes like this? In case if someone fumbles, so then that means he's back to 12th pass. his entire effort, his entire dream, his entire money, energy, his parents' dreams, everything, it goes to dust. It goes to dust. Why this restriction in the attempts? Why the restriction in these attempts? So that is something again which is not very good, right? So that's why these are some points on which some heavy discussions they are going on, and don't worry, by the time it will come, I think all these points, I don't know why they have even created such a draft. There is no sense in creating such a draft where there is so much of discretion. uh Ankit, for the offline classes right now, so we have to go for this online only. And yeah, we have to go for this online only. Okay, so what I was talking about is that I have already prepared a planner, right? And as I was telling, that let's say we'll be starting with lower limb, right? And gradually we'll pick up the pace, will increase the duration also, and I'll try to cover as much as possible, right? So I think from Tuesday we'll start. Right? Tomorrow I'll create all the links. I'll plan the things properly, right? And from Tuesday 7:30 we shall be starting lower limb. Okay? And yes, Pranam. Thank you so much. And yes, I'll be replying to all those emails, right? I think, yeah, there is a heavy buffer, right? But I'll be replying to all the emails, right? Gradually. Now that I'm quite good, so I'll definitely reply. Uh, till you are mbbs at gmail.com, right? You can send a mail. Faizan, you can send a mail at this, right? Sneha, head and neck, it will take some time, but say in my planner, I was thinking like, say, we'll start with lower limb, and once we complete the lower limb, we'll be going for the thorax and abdomen. Now, it's like thorax and abdomen, thorax would be, we should be able to complete quite fast. The reason behind it is that in thorax, the anatomy part of the heart has already been taken. In one of my film, it is already there, right? And abdomen is something which we have to consider because there are so many topics, and then we'll be going for head and neck, right? We'll be going for head and neck and brain. Brain will do it in such a way that not only the anatomy, but it is like the physiology, that is the neurology part, will take both the things parallelly. So this will make, and to this we can add the radiology also. So that way, not only you'll be learning the head and neck and the brain, but you will parallelly be learning the CT scan, MRI, the sectional imaging. So it will automatically prepare you even for all these competitive exam, and definitely the understanding will be much better, right? So what I'm doing right now is that as I'll be taking one region, but I'll keep on preparing the material for the coming sections, forthcoming topics like head and neck and brain. So that way I'll try to do it, right? Colleges are going at a really high pace, okay? Without even online, they are just declaring it. Vaishnavi, what exactly is declaring it? Declaring it, if I'm understanding it correctly, it's like They are just telling that, okay, this topic is over. Is it so? Timing will be 7:30 evening, PM. Yes, Vishal will be going for that Amazon Web Services, Azure, exactly. We'll be going for that also. I know that is in my schedule. Yes, Nachiket. Harsh, it is a problem. Yeah. Abhishek, these exams, right? They are like based on not only theory, not only clinical. In fact, I'll be giving you several questions also where you have to really justify your knowledge, and it's not like a direct question. It's like you have to think a bit and before replying it. It's like some logic is to be applied. So that's the reason that your understanding of the subject that would matter a lot. Those who are trying to cram the thing, they won't be able to beat you. If you understand the subject properly, definitely you'll be able to pass, right? That's what I'm telling, that you guys don't have to worry about it. It's like, say, even in upper limb, we tried to understand everything in a way that saw the graphics, we saw the real sections. Same thing we'll be doing in lower limb. Same thing. Now that way, when you understand the subject, trust me, when the question would be asked, automatically the answer would be coming in your mind. Ki, yes, we have seen this image. This is how it has to be done, right? So don't worry about it. We'll be trying to understand the subject in such a way that you should be able to clear it. Yes. Uh, uh, on planner. Uh, See, Faizan, it would be difficult for me to create a videos separately because it takes hell lot of time. So what I'll be doing is, no, actually what I'll be doing is, say, I'll keep on explaining while we are discussing the topic, right? I'll keep on explaining that this is what is in the planning. So parallelly it would be done. There won't be possibility of making a separate video, because when we make video, it's it's say that editing part, it takes so much of time, and after about 1 hour I start feeling bit tired, so it becomes bit difficult. But say regarding someone said about that USMLE, yes, I'll surely try to make that USMLE entire part, that is first part, second part, third part, how to apply, where to apply, what exactly are the steps, what documents are to be taken from your college, right? All those things, yes, I'll try to make it, but uh, it would take some time. Right now, our main focus would be on your current studies. And yes, Vaishnavi, okay, they declare the syllabus is over. Now that is again bad. Uh, Sohail, what you said? What if someone's oxygen saturation going down, if you are on oxygen, but patient is taking intake orally, properly eating? Say in this case, Sohail, if someone's oxygen level is going down, two things. One, put him into prone position. This is okay, right? Oxygen canisters are available. These are say from the mountaineering. If you are into some big metro, right? It is really easy to get from those mountaineering shops where they sell all those sports equipments. So these oxygen canisters, they are the small canisters. They give you about 100 puffs, but when the oxygen saturation goes down, that can be helpful. And second, what I said is Buteyko method. In Buteyko, I'll just repeat it, that inspiration, right? Inspiration controlled 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like you do the inspiration, hold it for 1, and then for the expiration, right? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, that way. So it's like you are spending more time for expiration as compared to inspiration, and this thing will mount carbon dioxide. It is the carbon dioxide, because all our receptors, they are sensitive to carbon dioxide. So that carbon dioxide will actually kick in the oxygen uptake. So this is the reason that when you do it by this method, immediately within few minutes you'll find that oxygen saturation will start rising. What's the estimated duration for complete anatomy? Well, it would take time, because head and neck and the abdomen, these two are big regions. Where do I start as a fourth year student? Because now I'm studying all clinical subjects. Uh, say, Sayishda, just send a mail to me, right? Because we need to talk about that. You need to say, actually evaluate yourself, that how many subjects they are completely good, you are completely fine, and then you have to plan accordingly. So just send a mail to me. uh, Thanks, Harsh. And okay, I'll prepare a PDF for planner. Okay, Faisal, right? For that planner, right? I think that is a good idea. I'll prepare a PDF, and that PDF I'll put it into our that common folder, right? So that everyone can get it. So then why for only first MBBS? I'll prepare it for all the years, first, second, third, fourth, right? I'll prepare it for all the years. Now, that is a good idea. We can do that. You have to study for next exam all the subjects. There is nothing is say left. Yes, we are starting from Tuesday, just day after tomorrow. CT scan in COVID, the news channel are telling that that is not good. Well, for this, it is true that one need not jump to HRCT straight away on the third day or fourth day. You might get some changes, but it is like radiological changes, they need time to develop. I did my HRCT on the 8th day. On the 8th day. Yes, even if you do it on the 4th day, let's say on 4th day, it might have shown the less values. My right middle lobe might have been much better, but it was a cytokinase storm. It was so heavy. So many inflammatory cascade was going on, and it went so rapidly that whether you do HRCT in advance or you do it at a later stage, it won't be making much of the difference. Now, even if I know that, okay, my right middle lobe is collapsed, but then there is no need to be panicky. No need. Now today, if I go for my HRCT, yes, there would be some improvement, but will it make any change in the course of the treatment? No. So keep patience. The way radiological changes, they need time to develop, same way they need time to even resolve, right? So rely more on clinical things, because it's like you are treating the person, you are not treating the reports, right? It is like you just go for lab assessment when it is critical, when you know that are we supposed to drop the steroid levels, are we supposed to decrease the apixaban. So it is that point where it is necessary to go for the lab reports, because then they will decide that yes, now we need to change the course, right? Otherwise, don't jump for all the, say, I have seen so many doctors prescribing everything, means everything on earth, means LFT, RFT, CBC, LDH, and all these D dimers, CRP on the third day. On the third day, obviously there won't be any inflammatory cascade. all those values, they are going to be come at a very low level and unnecessary. It will give you the idea that no, no, everything is fine. Okay, chalo, enjoy. So yeah, that's right. Only if the oxygen level drops, and that's right. Thank you so much. Yes, Faizan. Yes, yes. In fact, my wish is that yes, as we progress, will be adding more number of hours, right? So initially, it's like I'm planning to keep our session for about say 45 minutes to 1 hour, right? Just initially, and then will definitely increase. Means it's like the moment I'll feel that yes, I do have capacity, and I'll keep on adding more number of uh, hours, right? So take my word for it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, books part will do it. Will take it while taking the session, right? So well, it was pleasure talking to all of you, right? Thank you so much, and say we meet at 7:30 p.m. a day after tomorrow, right? We'll start on Tuesday and we'll start with the lower limb, right? Same style, and we'll be going for all those sections, we'll be going for graphics, right? Uh, Ayurvedic treatment, yes, yes, I took that. I took that. In fact, I still am taking that steam, and I put that ajwain, right? You know ajwain, right? Ajwain, I think you know that. So ajwain and say that ginger powder. It is something what is called as soot, right? So that ginger powder. I add these things into the water and I take this steam. And in steam, I came across one very good thing. I think I would like to share this with you. Uh, you take that steam via nose, and so in via nose, out via mouth, and then in via mouth, and then out via nose. So this is one round, and take such 5 rounds. So I do take that. And yes, that haldi doodh and everything, so I am taking it. So it is good. Yes, we'll start pathology also very soon. Yes, surely we'll start. Faizan, I'm not starting WhatsApp group just for one reason, because the number of messages that will be so high, and if am not replying, then it gives me pain, right? So that's why I'm not starting a WhatsApp group, because in WhatsApp group the number of messages they'll be shooting very high, and it becomes difficult. And at times it happens like, let's say I'm preparing some material, and say if when the WhatsApp group it shows that number of messages are 600 plus, you are tempted to watch it. Now 600 messages, even if you scroll at a high pace, still it will eat away your at least half an hour, right? So that's why we are not starting any of such groups. We will be meeting daily, right? So you can always talk to me, you can always send a mail to me, so that would be much better, right? Ankit, no idea. Actually, no idea when the offline classes would start. Uh, no problem. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not say insulting you, or I'm not saying no to you, but we'll see. Thanks, Atharun. Yes, I would say that I wrote letter to God. Yes, trust me. And I'll show you something. I'll show you something. That night, yes, I was bit scared. I was bit scared because that those reports they came at 9:30 in the night, and yeah, so I as soon as those report, right? I don't know if you can read it. If you can read it, I wrote CRP 211 D dimer 3220, and I wrote Shivji save me, get me well. So yeah, and then there is one full letter to God, right? I wrote it over here, and uh, for COVID vaccines, those who are below 18, because immunity is still into the developing stage, so they are still developing the immunity, so that's why it is not disturbed. That offline classes start in September. Well, I'm not very sure that whether they will be starting in September. For any doubt, yes, you can always send a mail to me. Please share the letter to God. Okay, okay, I'll share it. Well, I have written some of the personal things also to God. Why not? You know? Okay, so I think, Preeti, don't worry about it because see, after taking vaccine, patients are dying and get positive. But one thing is very clear, whether it is the COVID Shield or Covax or even Sputnik, one thing is clear that those who have taken the vaccine, at least say they are get their symptoms they are much less, and only a very small fraction of percentage of people those who are getting badly affected, and especially if they are associated with all those comorbid conditions like diabetes, blood pressure, etc. So the thing is, just so as such, I would say that yes, it is happening, but still uh, better and better vaccines they are coming. See, a father and complete family were getting positive after taking this on the same night. Now, if it is on the same night, say once the vaccine is taken, vaccine would take some time before it actually triggers this antigen antibody reaction, and it starts developing the resistance against this COVID, right? So if anything is happening on the same night, so it's not the fault of vaccine, right? It is just the unfortunate part that that the infection entered into the bodies on the same day, right? Because vaccine is not like a digital thing. It takes time before it actually say triggers, before it actually triggers the resistance against COVID, right? It takes some time. Thank you. Okay, guys, that was like my pleasure talking to you, right? And once again, a big, big thank you to all of you, for all of your love and support. Thank you so much. And say we we meet day after tomorrow, right? Oh yeah. Thank you and Bye bye. See you very soon.